Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your Week 8 PAFA game highlight commentary. We start out with the Kansas Cougars taking on the Oklahoma City Bulls. And on the first play of the game, the Bulls try a trick play. Giovanni Knight gives the ball to Jacob Rudder. He attempts to find Knight, but he throws an interception. It's picked off by Nick Hole-Bacon. And he goes to McDonald's. Can I get a McPick-6? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Opening touchdown in this bitch. Touchdown Cougars. And on the other end of the field, the Cougars would extend their lead as Cephas Jefferson would get the handoff and pound it into the end zone to take a 14-0 lead. Meanwhile, for the OKC Jaguars, Charles Shelburne would get the handoff and penetrate the defenses of the Lawton Savages to get the Jaguars on the board. And for the Tri-City Panthers, Garrett Griffith would take the snap and he would find Marcel Miller rubbing his nutsack all over the Northwest Arkansas battle defense for a 37-yard Tri-City Panther touchdown. And then out in Kansas, Reggie Langford would begin his aerial assault upon the Bulls as he would find his man for a 20-yard touchdown. But the Bulls would answer right back like a flock of parrots visiting a lecture hall as Giovanni Knight would find Toby Carmichael for a 47-yard touchdown and cut their deficit to 15 points. Then for the Jaguars, Charles Shelburne would get the handoff and he would score for every time Germany lost in the World War for his second touchdown. The aerial assault would continue for Reggie Langford as he would connect with Timothy Jones, who turns into a Hitman top. Use rapid spin. He would break the ankles of 3 Bulls, then go into the end zone for the Cougars touchdown. Then Reggie Langford would call voicemail because he's dialing his own number. He would take off running, put in the coordinates of the end zone, hop into an Uber sponsored by his own feet, and run it into the end zone for a 40-yard touchdown. As the Cougars would take a 31-6 lead going into halftime. Let's take one look to see what transpired during the MPFL this week. The Otero Desert Dogs would travel to take on the West Texas Lions, but the Lions were too much for the Desert Dogs to endure, as DeMarquez Johnson would pay rent in the end zone. Gaston Esterellis would also get in on the scoring, as he would throw a touchdown inside the red zone. Then the West Texas Lions would turn the offense over to DeMarquez Johnson, who would rub his nutsack all over the Otero Desert Dogs. He would turn on the burners like a displayed appliance at Best Buy and run it into the end zone for a 60-plus yard touchdown, and then convert on a 13-yard touchdown as he would finish the day with 8 carries for 145 yards and 3 touchdowns. But they would get it done defensively, offensively, and on special teams, as they would block a punt, score in the end zone, and extend their lead and absolutely destroy the Otero Desert Dogs 58-12. This concludes our coverage for the MPFL. Let's get right back into the PAFA. For the Tri-City Panthers, Garrett Griffith would take the snap, and this time he would find Daniel Knighton in the end zone for a Tri-City Panther touchdown. They would go on to defeat the Northwest Arkansas battle 20-6. The aerial assault would continue for Reggie Langford as he would take the snap and connect with William Terrell for a 16-yard Cougars touchdown. And then Langford would remix the old Outkast song and call it Bombs Over the Bulls as he throws yet another touchdown in the red zone. Meanwhile, for the Jaguars, allergy season is in full swing because they're coughing up the ball as it's recovered by the Savages and they go into the end zone for a defensive touchdown. But the Jaguars would kill all hopes of a Savage comeback as they would score in the red zone and put the game away 28-6. And for the Cougars, Cephas Jefferson would get the handoff and end the workplace violence as the Cougars would go on to win in an absolute blowout 56-6 for the battle for the Savages and the Bulls. Take out your Metro cards and get aboard the L train.